Hello everyone, welcome back to Zero Generation. This is our 5th episode, and today we have Monika Mia, a very good friend of mine on the show. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do? And when did you come to America?
I'm here already for 2.5 years. I came here in August 2021. Crazy.
Post-COVID.
Post-COVID. Well, kind of in the middle of COVID. COVID was still an ongoing thing.
True.
And I came to study to do the USC Screen Scoring Program in Thornton School of Music, which is, one of the best, if not the best, screen scoring program in the world. So it was my dream to come and study here. I was very happy to be able to get this opportunity. Actually, I was supposed to study in the 2021 cohort. That was the COVID year. And
got it. So you postponed it.
I had to reapply because you couldn't postpone it.
Then you must be really good. Because you're like, oh, this girl again. Let's enroll her.
Yeah,
That's
I do think
good.
they kind of,
They know that people couldn't come because of pandemic.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, it was online.
Yeah, the 2020 year had to do it mostly online, which is why also I didn't want to do it then.
Yeah, because I
was
know that your program is 1 year, right?
It is just 1 year, yeah. And it was like a combination of factors. Me not wanting to do it all online, and also I couldn't get the visa. I couldn't get an embassy interview, so I also wasn't sure if I'm, even if I do decide to do it online, I still have to be in US, and I didn't know if I could come to US.
Got it. So where are you from?
I'm from Moscow.
Nice.
Yeah.
You might be the first Russian friend that I have.
There aren't a lot of Russian students in Thornton or SCA, at least not that I know.
Are you a rare case? You did your undergrad in
UK,
and then you finished your master degree in United States.
Yes.
Is this kind of rare for Russian people?
No, actually, it's a lot of Russian students study abroad. I think it's just for this particular sphere.
Oh, I see. Composing.
Yeah. Composing, and especially for the screen, because it's kind of like a narrow-ish field.
True.
Well, not narrow, but kind of pretty specific. And I don't know, for some reason there aren't a lot of Russian people doing screen scoring at USC. I know 2 other previous graduates. I've met with them. They're doing well, so it was great to meet them.
Okay, and then I know you spent some time in UK and now here in America. Do you have certain kind of culture shock?
Yeah, I mean, when I went to live in UK, I had a culture shock, and I kind of readjusted in a year. By the end of the first year, I was just used to the place already. Here, it took me much longer, and I was just so. Before coming here, I was so convinced that it's gonna take me no time at all because I've already moved before. So I was like, it's gonna be like a piece of cake, and it was so hard.
Yeah. What kind of stuff make you feel like, oh damn, that's so different?
Well, to start with, it's just really, really far.
For traveling here?
LA is just so far from Moscow, or really any other place when you think of it. Moscow and London, 3 hours of plane. And Moscow and LA direct is maybe 12, 13.
So yeah, same with Taiwan.
But then there is no direct flights now, so it's more than that.
Oh yeah, you told me about the crazy
Politics.
layover you had when you needed to come back to LA. You went to other country first, right?
Yeah, I mean,
what was it?
It started even with me getting my student visa to come to US. I had to go to the Dominican Republic.
Okay, yeah.
In Russia, currently from 2021, literally as I just got re-accepted into USC, I just found out that all the US embassies in Russia closed, not just Moscow, everywhere in Russia.
I see.
So up to June, I didn't know how I would be able to come. And then through some semi-official channels, we found an interview in Dominican Republic.
So random.
Yeah, well, that was the country that was allowing me to have an interview. I would go to, you know, any corner of the world. Just let me have the visa, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went to Dominican Republic, and then I had to go back. And then, you know, by the time I got my visa, I had 2 weeks to come to US.
Stuff.
To pack
Wow.
and, you know, come to US. It was insane.
Yeah.
And then every time every time I went to Moscow on my student visa and then on my OBT, I had to go through Turkey mostly.
Oh,
or
so you
Turkey and Azerbaijan.
Gotcha. Interesting. Damn. I never realized the privilege of having a straight flight from my home country to America.
Wait,
it's already
a straight
long
flight?
enough. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and we have like maybe 3 different airlines, so you can even choose what airline you want
It
to.
used to be like that, just, you know, before the war and everything.
Yeah, it is complicated. Speaking of scary stuff, living in America, what scared you the most?
Well, when I just arrived to US, on my first day, my then roommate told me to get a pepper spray. And that just shocked me so much because in London and in Moscow, I always lived in very safe places, you know?
Yeah, and you will feel like, USC is a pretty good school. Why the neighborhood is so bad?
I don't know. Maybe it is like an LA phenomenon because anywhere else in the world, I feel like London for sure. If you have an area that's, you know, USC has a lot of, you know, children from well-to-do families going there. It would get gentrified in London in like a few years, but not here, which is, it's interesting. I don't know why.
It's like they are preserving it for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know, but maybe a couple years later will be different. But once I got my car, I moved away from the neighborhood just to be comfortable walking with my dog.
Yeah.
Or just like get some snack. And yeah, you heard crazy stuff that happened around our school.
Yeah, read about it every day. But I mean, I guess it's kind of sad. You do get, well, at least I got desensitized to it very quickly. You just like see this daily emails about somebody like, usually I think it was like theft attempts or somebody breaking in because in one of the student houses, somebody left the back door open or something. Yeah. And you're just like, oh, yeah, that's not the one.
Yeah, right.
I never got that pepper spray. Maybe I should have, but I made it alive.
Yeah.
I live in Sherman Oaks now. I don't need it anymore.
I know, right? That's a pretty safe neighborhood.
It is. Although my roommate did get her cat converter stolen, being street parked in Sherman Oaks.
What?
Yeah, so safe to an extent.
Okay. Got it. I heard something about that in Koreatown. Like they park in their apartment, like the basement is the parking lot. Somebody still manages to get in the parking lot and then stole the car.
Wow. Well, because technically anything that can be opened, you know, with a remote can be hacked.
Oh, LA.
Maybe that's what I'm scared of the most. Somebody steals my car.
Right? You cannot live without a car in LA. At least for me. I like driving around. I hate the traffic, but... yeah. Actually,
it's funny about the traffic because Moscow traffic is so much worse.
Really?
Yeah. So
is it because more people driving? No, a lot of people.
No, it's just because, well, Moscow is a much older city, obviously, and the way it's built is very complex, and sometimes some parts of it are just very circular and windy and just really
how
small.
About public transportation?
Oh, it's very good.
Better than here.
For sure.
Yeah, but the traffic is bad? Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and they're like, the way the city is planned is more complex. So I have to pay much more attention when I'm trying to go somewhere with navigation and everything. Here, it's mostly like this. Like,
it's easy. So it's the city planning kind of affected. Got it. And speaking of bad traffic in your hometown, what do you do when you feel homesick and lonely?
Well,
here in America,
I can always call my parents or my friends.
How's the time difference?
It's 11 hours, I think.
11 hours, got it.
Yeah, but I'm quite lucky because one of my best friends who lives in Italy, I get up early and go to bed early, but she gets up late and goes to bed late. So we coincide more.
Oh, interesting.
So usually throughout the day, we text a lot and she's still awake, you know, at like 3 a.m. in the morning. So.
For me, I text back to my Taiwanese friend and I just throw my phone away because they're sleeping anyway. And then I will go do something else, and then, oh, okay, now they wake up. Now we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. And after you got your master's degree, I know that you did the O1 visa.
Yeah.
To stay here.
First OPT and then O1.
Got it. How was that process for you?
OPT is very straightforward. You just have to make sure you submit application on time. O1, I worked with a law firm to prepare my O1 application.
Yeah.
And me and my friend, my roommate, were with the same company. So that made the process a bit easier because we could kind of just exchange advice and information. During my OPT time, I worked as an assistant. I did some independent projects. I continued doing some projects for Moscow, mainly advertising projects. But for me, the basis of my O1 application was the award-winning short films and some of the advertising work, like the projects that paid a lot or the projects that were for, like, for example, I did a few things for Tiffany and for...
like the company that everyone have heard of.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of thing that, you know, looks good on paper. Basically, my work from before I came to US, that was what made my application possible.
Interesting. That's really good, because I know some people, they need to spend like extra money to do like press.
Oh, you have to do press anyway. I did also...
you still need to do.
Yeah. But the thing is, they also recommend you like sources where you can like pay and they do press for you. And actually, I had a friend who just told me, oh, you know, by the way, I also do some social media. So he just gave me the contacts of the press and I paid like $20.
That's so nice.
Yeah. So for that wasn't a problem. I think the hardest thing about the application was, for me, was the deal memos, because one of the deal memo providers dropped out last minute for me, so I had to quickly find another one.
Excuse? They're just suddenly like not feeling...
I don't know. Like, to me, it's inexplicable, because when I reached out to them from the get-go, I said that I would need help with O1 recommendation, O1 deal memo. And every time I sent him a message or an email, that was like in the title. So I wanted to make very sure that he would be comfortable with it, because I know, especially for American citizens, it's not something that everybody would be comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, some things you need to, it kind of feels like a more binding thing than it actually is. So some people are wary of it, wary of entering like this sort of contract. But he was Canadian, he went through this process himself, so I thought, well, for sure he understands what that, you know, this deal memo is not like legally binding.
Yeah, you don't
for him
really
to hire me at this like precise hour of the day, you know.
Because that thing actually doesn't really exist in the industry. Like, you won't tell someone that I will hire you for 2 years for what project. At least not for people who just graduated.
Yeah, I feel like just in creative industry, because, I don't know, just things shift all the time.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Anyway, at the end he said, oh, wait, I only kind of signed up for giving you a recommendation. I'm not going to give you a deal memo. That's too much. I hardly like even know you. I was like, well, maybe it was my mistake. Maybe I didn't make it clear. And then I went through all of our communication. From the get-go, I did say like a few times that it's a deal memo, it's a deal memo, it's a deal memo. And so I don't know what it is, like reading comprehension, I don't know.
But that is so frustrating.
It is very frustrating.
Because you got it in the pocket and then you just flew away.
Yeah, well, naming no names, but yeah, he didn't deliver on that promise. But luckily, I was already working for a new boss who was totally fine with giving me a deal memo.
That's amazing. Yeah, we sometimes really need strangers' kindness. I mean, not like total stranger, but just like international, individual friendly people.
Yeah, and both of my deal memo providers were not from US.
I see.
Which is, I think, why they understood why it's so important.
Yeah. Speaking of not being an American, is there a certain moment you feel like I am comfortable living in this country now? I'm not like a total alien.
You know, it's a very good question, but I guess I just don't think about it in those terms. I know there are some differences in my personality and like my character that come from not being from US.
Like
and
what?
I think if I'm like at an event or something, I'm kind of putting it on a little bit because I'm not naturally very extroverted. And Moscow society, for example, isn't. Like, it's not the norm there.
Got it.
Yeah, just some things. I learned to be more direct because especially when dealing with some services or companies, I just realized that sometimes if you're not direct, they can like take you on tangents and like try to like sell you something or do something. And I realized that here you can't be like polite in the sense that I was polite in Europe. You have to be like, no. Otherwise, they're not going to get it. It has to be like, no. Well, not leave me alone. I wouldn't say that, but I'm just not interested, you know. No, this is the end.
Yeah, I feel like here they take advantage of kind people.
They do, which is why you have to, you know, it was very easy for me here to become like more, you know, straight to the point, more kind of blunt, because so many people I noticed were just like rude to me or like blunt or just, especially on the road.
Yeah.
That eventually, like, it was like a very easy transition. I'm like, well, I'll treat you how I'm treated, you know? But of course, that's like only separated accidents. Like the majority of people are very outgoing and kind and very important. And I was actually even pleasantly surprised about that. No one ever gave me like a hard time or like an angry look or a dirty look or whatever, or me being from Moscow. People always seemed like very understanding and sympathizing, like about somebody from Russia, like being put in a complicated situation. Yeah. So I've never felt any sort of ill will or any discrimination based on that.
That's good.
My one visa I got like in a month, you know, so I was like a little bit worried that maybe because of politics.
They don't want to give you because you're Russian?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be bad.
But that was not the case at all.
Got it. And you say you wait for like a month of 2?
Month and a half.
That's really, that's maybe the quickest I've ever heard.
Yeah, I was very lucky,
Yeah, good for you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Next question is, how has your love life been since you come here? Like, did you meet anyone at USC or like through some type of projects that you do? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, at USC, I just tried to survive my master's. That was what I was thinking about. After USC, I've started dating, and LA, as most big cities, has like this, you know, the big city syndrome. Lots of people, lots of choice, and there's like a lot of turnover, let's say.
Yeah.
I've met people like offline and online, and so far, you know, I haven't met the one. But you know, I just keep on going on dates and hoping that I've had like sort of like short relationships, but nothing really came to something like lasting and serious.
Yeah, like you don't see like a real future. It's
yeah,
more like
that
a
hasn't
short
happened
film.
yet. Yeah.
Got it. So do you find it hard to date American?
Well, I don't know about hard. Every American, every person is always very different. I do think though that I usually click more with people who are not from US, because I feel like the experience of moving somewhere, and I've moved twice in my life. I've made like 2 major moves every time, like father and father.
I know.
I think it changes you a lot. And I don't think people who haven't had to, well, not haven't, I didn't have to, I wanted to, obviously, who didn't have that experience and didn't have those particular difficulties, it's just harder to click with them for some reason.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
This is, I think, maybe more specific to US, because US in itself offers a lot of opportunity to travel. So a lot of people just, you know, they travel within California or within
like
US.
road trips.
Yeah. And it's kind of expensive to go somewhere else. And, you know, outside of the continent, you know, Europe, Australia, you know, Asia, everything. There are more people who haven't left US a lot of times or at all.
I know. When I first realized that a lot of people here, they don't have their passports.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. And then I realized, because you already have a good amount of stuff to look around in your own country.
Totally.
Yeah.
But also, again, for me, I've traveled a lot. I've been very lucky to be able to travel a lot with my family, a lot of destinations since I was a kid. A lot of my friends live in different countries. My family is very multicultural because even though I grew up in Russia, my dad is from Bangladesh and my mom is from Georgia.
Got it.
So we would visit those countries as well. And so basically being multicultural is a very essential part of me. So I think that's why I don't really click with people whose life is very much mostly concentrated in one place.
Like in their own comfort zone. Might still be a nice person, but most of the time they just...
well, it's not even about the comfort zone. That's just how their life, turned out. That their parents, for example, are both U.S. citizens and they grew up in U.S. and it's just like, it's just a different person.
And no matter it's like you say Russia or like Bangladesh, like is there certain thing that you do to stay connected?
Well, art, music, film, that really helps. Cooking some foods from those cultures. And I'm not religious. I'm kind of agnostic. But I've started to attend also the church. I'm baptized, Christian Orthodox. So I've started attending some church events because more so for the ritual. And I do really enjoy that part of it, the tradition, the ritual,
like
the
like
food,
choir.
and I do really like the church, like as a building. Like I like the smells, I like the candles, I like the art inside, and the churches are, they're beautiful buildings. And also there are a lot of Russian speakers there usually, so it's like a nice little community.
I always like joke about my Mandarin kind of got rusty over time, and I was wondering if you have the same problem with Russian.
I totally do. When I come back home, I just struggle so much. Yeah, and what irks me the most?
Yeah.
It's funny, but well, not funny, because what I find really limiting is because my command of Russian, like, it's getting rusty, as you said, And when you lose command of language, one of the first things that goes is the ability to be funny.
Oh, like your humor doesn't come across that well anymore?
Yeah, because I can't do it on the go anymore in Russian. And I'm I know how to make it funny in English, you know? But it's okay.
Got it. The next question is, don't want to be too negative, but I just really want to ask, like, can you share with us the worst day you had in America?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think it was the worst day because I was very sad, but plus what that day was.
Okay, what happened?
My 29th birthday.
What happened?
I was just very sad. I just graduated and I hadn't found work yet at that point. And we just moved to a new apartment with my new then roommates. And there was just like a lot of uncertainty, and I just didn't really feel like a sense of direction. So I was just really sad, and I cried most of that day.
Oh.
We did go out, and when we went out, I wasn't sad, but like apart from that, I cried a lot.
Yeah, I do feel like birthday, you having this review for yourself. The past year. What did I do the whole year? And then now I'm 1 year older. And then what I have accomplished, what I haven't done yet. So I will say, birthday can get you kind of down sometimes.
Yeah, but my next birthday was like so much better.
Was it a blast? Did you go somewhere?
Yeah, it was. Well, actually, I invited you, but you couldn't come. The murder mystery party.
Right, I missed that one. I bought the costume, you know?
Oh my god.
I bought the 1920s.
Yeah.
I think it was 1920s costume, and then I was so glad it arrived on time, and then I couldn't go.
That's okay. I want to do another one, I'll tell you.
Yes.
Oh wait, you're leaving.
I am leaving.
Well,
but
whenever you're back.
I'll be back for your birthday. Book my ticket right now, so it's cheaper. Okay, and how about on a lighter tone, the best day you had here in America?
Best day?
Like you appreciate your life so much.
There were like a couple of really good days. I really enjoy going to screenings of the films. I feel very happy then.
Yeah.
Because you see the result of your work. Having the last recording session for USC when we recorded Warner Brothers with you know, a 55-piece orchestra that was, I mean,
Damn.
colossal. My my music piece was played really well.
Yeah.
I was very happy then. Actually, yeah, there were a lot of good days. It's even hard to pick one.
Right. What is a typical good day for you in Los Angeles?
Maybe if I do some really productive work in the morning.
You are a morning person.
I am.
Right?
Yeah, like I get up at like 7 or 8.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like right after sleep, my brain is, I think it's like still connected to my subconscious or whatever. Like, and my mind is not filled with chores and tasks and like getting back to people or you know, anything like that. So it feels more blank, but in a good way. So I write much faster and I get better ideas in the morning.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I get that out of the way. But then like if it's an ideal day, then I also do something fun like in the afternoon or evening. Like go somewhere, or maybe we go to the beach with some friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Eat out somewhere nice. What I love about LA is just the variety of
Restaurants?
cuisines, yeah. And it's also good.
I know. Sometimes pricey, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But the portions are so big that you can have it like a few times. So that kind of cuts it a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I told people that microwave saved my life because I'll go out for dinner and that thing will be my next day lunch.
Yeah. So it's not like, so from like $20 it becomes 10 because it's 2 meals, right?
How's the living expense
Immigrant
here,
math.
like compared to Russia? Is it similar? Or
much more expensive.
yeah.
But also the salaries are bigger, so it kind of evens out.
True. Ugh.
But you know, Moscow also is after the pandemic and then after the war, because a lot of things are not imported properly anymore. Prices went up a lot as well.
Ah, like eggs or stuff like that, like grocery. Is it like
Eggs as well, but just everything, groceries, tech.
Yeah. Oh.
It's cheaper actually to buy iPhone, for example, here than in Moscow.
I see.
Yeah.
Are you gonna smuggle? Maybe not.
Well, I bring gifts.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it smuggle.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, if U.S. immigration is listening, I'm not doing anything like that.
We're clean. Okay. And the next question is, do you have like a final goal that you want to achieve as a composer?
There are some dream goals. Some of them are, I think, more realistic.
Like a 5-year plan?
And some of them are like the A plan, you know. That would be the best scenario plan.
Yeah.
I really enjoy video game music. I think there's a lot of opportunities for creativity there.
Definitely.
Well, the dream would be an in-house composer, but there are not a lot of positions of in-house composers.
Like
for game companies, it's usually the big ones are Blizzard, Riot. Like I'd love to freelance for some of the bigger companies, but also, you know, I'm still interested in narrative cinema as well. And I mean, I'd love to do like a really creative TV series like Severance or like I love Succession. Oh my God.
Okay, yes. And the last question we have here is, what advice will you give to those people who are coming here?
I think especially the creative fields, just because I know about that a little bit more, but I think that applies to every field. If you made the decision to come as a student or on a work visa or otherwise, I think it wouldn't hurt to start reaching out to people even before you come. Start making those connections, because other skills, I mean, if you were admitted to a university or if you got a work visa, it's already assumed that you have a certain level of skill. And whatever other skills you need, you will pick up at your new workplace or university, hopefully. So I think, investing in the connections is just paramount. I think that's my main advice.
Yeah, like start mingling
early
on. That's the thing that was hard for me to do, because I'm so afraid of like cold emailing people. But I think that's really good advice. Like just put yourself out there even before you arrive.
It's good to start that early, but also, I mean, in your case, you were coming to USC, you would kind of enter this network that would be pre-established for you.
Yeah.
So you benefited from that.
I know. Sometimes I feel like I pay tuition because I'm here to make friends.
Same. I mean, it's more so for the connections. I think everybody...
It's a social club.
It is.
Right. That's how we knew each other. So Monika composed for my thesis film, and I'm so grateful because I was like, I went on the website and I'm looking at different composers. I'm like, which one I should reach out?
It's like a candy box.
Yeah, it's like, so many sample of different like kind of music. I reached out to Monika, and then you got back to me, and then we worked together. That was a really good time.
Yeah, it was such a fun project.
Yes. So that's at the end of our episode. Thank you so much for watching or listening to our 5th episode of Zero Generation. And we hope that our experience can help you make decision or just making plans for coming to America. Okay. Once again, thank you so much, Monika, for coming here. Okay. Cut. Nice.
Oh, this was fun.